Section 1, welcome to Vanishing Worlds. Your role is not to extract content. Your role is to preserve living human knowledge with humility, accuracy, and care. Many subcultures, traditions, crafts, and ways of life disappear quietly. When that happens, language, memory, worldview, and identity can vanish with them. This work exists to slow that loss. A good Vanishing Worlds interview is ethical, patient, respectful, and deep. We are not here to force stories, flatten people into stereotypes, or make their lives fit our narrative. We are here to listen well, document faithfully, and help future generations understand what mattered, how people lived, what they believed, what they built, and what may soon be gone forever.
Section 2, before you interview anyone, understand this. The person is more important than the footage. Their dignity matters more than the project. Their safety matters more than our curiosity. Their boundaries matter more than our desire to get a powerful story. Never pressure. Never manipulate emotion. Never pretend to understand what you do not understand. Never make promises you cannot keep. If a person does not want to answer something, move on. If they want something off the record, honor that. If they seem overwhelmed, slow down. The quality of the interview depends first on trust. If trust is damaged, the interview is damaged. If trust is respected, people often share the kind of truth no forced question could ever produce.
Section 3, start with preparation. Learn enough about the subculture to ask intelligent, respectful questions, but not so much that you stop being curious. Know basic history, terminology, values, tensions, and common misunderstandings. Learn what outsiders usually get wrong. Identify what may be disappearing: language, rituals, songs, tools, trade skills, dress, social rules, beliefs, migration stories, gathering places, or unwritten codes. Prepare open-ended questions, not interrogations. Research should help you avoid ignorant mistakes, but it should never replace the person in front of you. The interview is not about proving what you know. It is about creating a careful record of what they know.
Section 4, before recording. Explain the purpose clearly. Tell them who you are, what Vanishing Worlds is, why their voice matters, how the material may be used, and what boundaries they can set. Make informed consent real, not rushed. They should understand whether this is public, archival, educational, or promotional. They should know they can pause, skip, clarify, or stop. Ask if any topics are sensitive, restricted, sacred, dangerous, private, or commonly misunderstood. Ask if any names, places, or details should be protected. Ethical interviewing begins before the first formal question. People speak more freely when they know they are being treated honestly.
Section 5, when the interview begins, do not rush into dramatic questions. Start by helping them settle in. Ask who they are, how they would describe their community, and what they want people to understand first. Let them define their world in their own language. Ask, how would you describe this way of life to someone who has never seen it? Ask, what do outsiders usually miss? Ask, what feels essential that should not be lost? These opening questions are powerful because they let the interviewee establish meaning before details. That often leads to better stories, better accuracy, and a stronger record of identity.
Section 6, a complete Vanishing Worlds interview should preserve several layers. First, origins. Where did this tradition, trade, group, or way of life come from? Second, daily reality. What does ordinary life inside it actually look like? Third, values. What beliefs, rules, codes, loyalties, or meanings hold it together? Fourth, skills and knowledge. What must be learned to truly belong? Fifth, change. How has it evolved over time? Sixth, threat. What is causing it to fade, weaken, or disappear? Seventh, memory. What should future generations know if this world is gone one day? If you cover those layers well, you capture more than content. You capture a living culture.
Section 7, use open, specific human questions. Good examples include, can you walk me through a normal day? What did someone have to learn to be respected here? What sounds, smells, routines, or places define this world? What was expected of people? What was misunderstood by outsiders? What changed over the years? When did you first realize this way of life might disappear? What do younger people not get to experience now? What would be lost besides the obvious? Questions like these bring out texture, memory, emotion, and structure. Avoid questions that can be answered with one word unless you are clarifying something important.
Section 8. Document the history carefully. Ask where the subculture came from, who carried it forward, how it was passed down, and what events shaped it. Ask whether there were elders, leaders, teachers, family lines, neighborhoods, workplaces, ceremonies, or institutions that kept it alive. Ask what earlier generations did differently. Ask what changed with technology, money, migration, law, stigma, urban development, social media, or war. A disappearing world is usually not lost for only one reason. Capture the pressures from outside and the changes from within. This helps future viewers understand not just what existed, but why it became fragile.
Section 9 captures sensory detail. Facts matter, but memory often lives in sensory experience. Ask what the place sounded like, smelled like, looked like, and felt like. Ask about tools, clothing, food, music, repeated sayings, gestures, jokes, taboos, routines, and symbols. Ask what people noticed immediately when entering that world. Ask what was normal there that would seem unusual to outsiders. Sensory detail gives future generations more than information. It gives them atmosphere. It helps them imagine the world as lived reality rather than abstract history. This matters deeply in preservation work.
Section 10. Ask about meaning, not just behavior. It is not enough to record that people did something. You must ask what it meant. Ask why certain rituals, clothes, songs, objects, roles, or codes mattered. Ask what was considered honorable, shameful, beautiful, sacred, rebellious, or necessary. Ask what belonging felt like. Ask what people were protecting through these traditions. Meaning is often where the soul of a culture lives. Two groups can do similar things for very different reasons. Without meaning, documentation becomes shallow. With meaning, the archive becomes human and alive.
Section 11. Be careful with trauma, grief, and loss. Some disappearing worlds are fading because of violence, addiction, poverty, colonization, forced assimilation, incarceration, displacement, stigma, or death. If painful material arises, do not rush in for emotional impact. Slow down. Let the person choose how far to go. Do not mind suffering for dramatic footage. Ask gently. Leave room for silence. Watch body language. If someone becomes distressed, offer a pause. The goal is not to capture breakdown. The goal is to preserve truth with dignity. A respectful interviewer knows when to continue and when to protect.
Section 12. Avoid turning people into caricatures. Do not reduce a subculture to crime, costume, extremity, mystery, or novelty. Every community has complexity, contradiction, tenderness, and internal differences. Ask about family life, humor, pride, work, conflict, love, discipline, beliefs, and ordinary routines. Ask what people inside the culture disagreed about. Ask what outsiders sensationalize. Ask what is beautiful that most people overlook. Preservation becomes distorted when we document only what is shocking. Vanishing worlds should preserve whole human worlds, not just the parts outsiders find entertaining.
Section 13. Ask about language. Words carry culture. Ask whether there are special terms, slang, sayings, chants, prayers, nicknames, labels, or phrases that matter inside the group. Ask what those words mean and when they are used. Ask whether younger people still know them. Ask whether some words are sacred, private, outdated, or misunderstood. If possible, record pronunciation clearly. Language often disappears before outsiders realize it is vanishing. A phrase, greeting, insult, blessing, or work term may preserve a whole mindset. Do not overlook it.
Section 14. Ask about transmission. How did people learn this way of life? Was it taught by parents, elders, peers, apprenticeship, ritual, initiation, trial and error, labor, music, travel, neighborhood life, or spiritual practice? What had to be earned? What could not be taught in words? What mistakes would reveal that someone was not truly formed by the culture? Ask how knowledge moved from one generation to the next. Preservation is not only about what the culture contained, it is also about how the culture reproduced itself. Once that chain breaks, the world often begins to disappear.
Section 15 asks what has already been lost. This is one of the most important parts of the interview. Ask what used to exist that no longer does. Ask what songs are not sung, what places are gone, what skills are rare, what values weakened, what elders died without passing on knowledge, what younger members no longer practice, and what changed too fast to hold on to. Ask whether the loss happened gradually or suddenly. Ask which losses hurt the most. This gives the archive urgency and precision. It shows not only that a world is fading, but exactly how the fading is happening.
Section 16 asks what still remains. Preservation should not only sound like mourning. Ask what parts of the culture are still alive, who is still carrying them, what efforts are being made to teach them, and what gives the community hope. Ask what must happen for this world to survive another generation. Ask what should be documented right now before it is too late. Ask what younger people are reclaiming, reviving, or reinventing. This protects the interview from becoming only elegy. It also records resilience, adaptation, and living continuity.
Section 17 asks what should never be forgotten. Near the later part of the interview, ask directly, if this world disappeared tomorrow, what would you want future generations to understand about it? Then ask, what would they lose if they never knew this existed? These questions often bring out the deepest truth of the interview. People move from describing events to speaking from the heart. This is where legacy language often appears. Give this section time. Do not interrupt too quickly. Let them search for the words. Some of the most powerful archival material comes from the final reflections.
Section 18 Listen for what is not being said. Sometimes people circle around sacred matters, painful memories, shame, pride, or internal rules without naming them directly. Do not force disclosure, but do notice patterns. You may ask gently, it sounds like there is something important under that. Would you like to say more, or would you rather leave it there? That gives them control while inviting depth. Good interviewing is not only about asking strong questions. It is about hearing tone, hesitation, contradiction, reverence, fear, and meaning. Deep listening often uncovers what shallow questioning misses.
Section 19, after the formal interview, gather supporting material when appropriate. Ask to photograph tools, clothing, written items, meeting places, artwork, family objects, shrines, vehicles, instruments, workspaces, neighborhood landmarks, or anything else that helps preserve the world being described. Ask if there are songs, documents, flyers, letters, recordings, recipes, maps, photos, tattoos, symbols, notebooks, or old images that can be explained and archived. Sometimes the objects tell the story as powerfully as the words. Always ask permission before recording or photographing personal or sensitive material.
Section 20 at the end. Thank the person sincerely. Ask if there is anything important you failed to ask. Ask if there is anything they want added, corrected, protected, or emphasized. Ask whether there are others you should speak to, especially elders or knowledge keepers. Give them a chance to leave a message to future generations in their own words. Closing well matters. The final minutes often reveal overlooked truths, clarifications, and names of others who hold essential knowledge. Never end as if you merely finished collecting content. End as someone entrusted with memory.
Section 21 after the interview. Document carefully. Label names correctly. Verify spellings, dates, places, and terms when possible. Separate verified fact from memory, interpretation, and legend without disrespecting any of them. Preserve the context around the interview, who was present, where it happened, what the mood was, what objects were shown, and what themes emerged. Good archives are organized, searchable, and responsible. Sloppy documentation can destroy the value of powerful material. Preservation is not complete when recording ends. Preservation includes clean storage, careful notes, and accurate metadata.
Section 20, to your own mindset matters. Come in humble, steady, patient, and teachable. Do not try to look brilliant. Do not chase viral moments. Do not treat the interview like a performance of your intelligence. Your task is to serve the truth, the person, and the historical value of what is being shared. The best Vanishing Worlds interviewer is calm enough to listen, wise enough to ask, disciplined enough to protect dignity, and curious enough to keep learning. When done well, This work becomes more than content creation. It becomes an act of cultural preservation, human honor, and memory against disappearance.
Section 23, remember the standard. Ethical, complete, meaningful. Ethical means dignity, consent, honesty, and safety. Complete means capturing origins, daily life, values, skills, change, loss, language, objects, memory, and meaning. Meaningful means going beyond surface facts into what this world felt like from the inside. If you do that, you are not just making an interview. You are helping preserve a world. That is the mission of Vanishing Worlds. Treat it with the seriousness, care, and reverence it deserves.
I'm going to read a letter on behalf of Louis Busby, founder of Vanishing Worlds Project. To every volunteer who has chosen to stand with this mission, thank you. Thank you for giving your time, your heart, your energy, and your belief to something that truly matters. What you are helping preserve is not small. You are helping protect memory, culture, identity, and the living stories of people and worlds that may otherwise disappear forever. Please know this deeply. You are not just helping. You are part of the mission itself. You are now one of the hands carrying this work forward. What Vanishing Worlds becomes will be shaped not only by me, but by you, by your care, your courage, and your willingness to show up for something bigger than yourself. I want you to feel proud of that. You belong to this mission now. You are part of its heart, part of its voice, and part of the reason these worlds may still be remembered long after we are gone. With deep gratitude, respect, and support, Louis Busby, founder, Vanishing Worlds Project. And on behalf of all the current volunteers, we truly hope you enjoy your journey with Vanishing Worlds. And please know that we are always here to help, support, and walk alongside you every step of the way.